Hello again, it's Noob, and here we have a Carl F G 3-star lock. And if you don't know Carl F, I don't blame you, they're a strangely named brand, but they do pretty decent locks, and a couple of features which they do seem to share amongst the brand is pretty decent bittings, as well as really nice spools, which can be tricky to set because of the amount of false set that they give. This lock does actually have a few other secrets up its sleeve, and you can see here that's a British Standard kite mark with its 3 stars. You'll also see it's got all these anti-snap features on there. You know, this is a proper 3-star lock, and I think enough talking, let's get this in a vise and have a pick and explore what's on the inside of this lock. Okay, back in a second. So we're in the vise, and here, so we are in the vise. Here's that lovely key. Just look at this maximum adjacent cut between pin 4 and 5 here. That's pretty nasty, and it's actually quite hard to pick pins 2 and 6 because of the very low cuts in pin positions 1 and 5 there. So nice smooth operating lock, reasonably tight Yale style keyway. I've got 2 18,000th of an inch thick picks. One is this multi-pick and one is this Peterson, and you can see that one is a little bit steeper than the other, and that is so that I can do most of the sort of bullying with the thicker shanked pick, and then go on to the thinner one to hopefully reach up inside the lock and do what I can. So nothing on 1, 2 here. 2's binding, little click, 3, another little movement, 4 here, something went there, nothing on 5, and nothing on 6. So back to 2, 3, just releasing tension. This is 4 again, 3, 2. Back to, oh, just click on pin 6 at the back, and what I want to do, see what I can do with pin 2 there, another little movement, little click on 3, and that's sort of gone back to its full set. This is 4. I don't think I can reach all the way up with this pick. It feels like I'm not quite getting where I need to go there, so let's go back to 6, 5, 4. Oh, into a really, so 4 going to that really nice, much deeper false set. That means I'm probably on a spool, so let's just check. It's pin 2 there, pin 3, 4, nothing on 5, 6, and I think that's, do you see that counter rotation? That was 6, definitely a spool. I'm going to swap over to the much thinner shanked, deeper hook and play around with these pins because, so nothing on 2. Don't trust 3, could be a spool, but I don't trust it. Let's try 4. And it could just be that we need to, with 4, this one, Hampton No is like a pin-in-pin. I think it's like an anti-bump feature. And what can happen is, so I'm getting these counter rotation, but I think that's me forcing the key pin up on 6, nothing on 5. If I keep bullying pin IF4, I think we've finally got the open. Look at this. So the great thing about this lock is that we can gut it from the top. So what I can do is turn this back. I don't need the key. You can see this is the external section here because of all the cutaways. Not a bad lock actually. This is definitely a 3-star lock with its anti-snap, anti-bump features. And what I'll do is grab this hex key and quickly try to gut this. Oh wow, look at that. So much of this blue stuff on it. Got like, I I shouldn't have done that, should I? I just tipped it upside down, but it's okay. It's okay. We got where we need to be. So yeah, I'd taken out a couple of these screws before, but not all of them. Just had a peek inside to see what was going on inside this lock, because it was quite a tough lock. You can see that on my pinning trace, lots of this sort of blue stuff. Thread lock, that's the word I was looking for. Come on, spring. There we go. That's a spring. So I've already got a nice spool. And what else we got here? Must have a set of tweezers nearby. I do. So drive pin 1 is a spool, 2 is a spool. This is so much easier and probably quicker than oh, why's that not coming out? Strange. Then having to cut with a follower and take off circlips and all that kind of stuff. So this is much faster. Ah, yes, that's the pin-in-pin element, which I'll show you in a minute. On a little spring. I like that. Nice. Oh, and there's the other spring for it, so it must be the key pin we're missing in here. Aha! There you go. What else do we have? So that pin in pin, I think, is an anti-bump feature, but actually acts like a little T-pin, which makes picking it tricky, because you think you picked everything and it's still not opening. It's because it's just hung up on the inside. Oh, there's another one. Oh yeah. So I didn't know about this. There's one sort of active one and one passive, so, or non-sprung. So one sprung and one non-sprung. Ah, okay. So I didn't know about that other one. I thought there's only one sort of T-pin in here, but clearly there was two. Well, pin-in-pin, T-pin, whatever you want to call it. Ah, the spring came out of that one. So far we've had driver pin wise. Oh, it's even a shorter spring on this. That's really cool. So that's what happens when you only take out a couple of these chambers, and look, it is still a nice surprise when you actually have a look at it all in one. So you've got spool pin, sprung pin in pin, passive pin in pin, and then another spool pin, and I'm sure we got counter rotation on pin 6, so from memory I think it is a spool as well, but we'll have a bit of a look. I do like this lock. This is the kind of lock which I could see myself sort of using. Don't see them in the shops though. Not even sure you can buy a Carl F anymore. Probably you can, but they are definitely a cut above your average lock. Pretty decent. Shame about the sort of standard keyway. A bit more warding would be good against those like Lishy attacks, but you can see here we have all, and also it's changed up the key pins to like some torpedoes or something would be nice, but overall much better than average, I'd say. So these are really nice spools, and the Carl Fs always have really, really deep spools to contend with. This seems to be like you see that the springs are all the same apart from this one, which is shorter. Again, probably an anti-bump feature, but these do act like little T-pins. Let's get one of these. And you see that this one's sprung with an extra sort of long sprung pin. And that definitely will act as a T-pin. So this one definitely acts more like a T-pin than this one, which is just a unsprung pin in pin. I think this is anti-bump. Got a little bit of lock oil on there, a bit of lube. But that's kind of cool. That acts as a T-pin and anti-bump as well. So yeah, I really like that. I think that's a good job from Carl F with their G 3-star lock. So Yeah, very cool. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, leave a like. If you have any comments about this lock, if you ever picked one, really interested to know, do leave the comments below. I do read them all, reply to as many as I can. If you think I deserve it, then hit that subscribe, the notification bell, and the like, all that jazz. It really helps me out, and I really appreciate it as well. Otherwise, stay safe, happy picking, and I'll see you all next time.